the project that we're going to work on today and then for the next probably 5 or 6 days is called a cutout slab. These look like this. And so everybody's is going to have a little bit of a different shape. It doesn't seem like they might look that different, but once you actually put them together, you'll see quite a difference between everybody's on what they look like. You can also see that these are cut out. You can see places cut on this one, and you can see it here. Everything that you cut out, you are using and you are attaching to another side. Okay, so this is a cutout slab. You can do this a couple different ways. You can do this to where you're completely cutting out on one side, so then you would be able to see through the entire side. So this would be good if you wanted to maybe put this where you're putting some type of candle in there, okay? If you want to use this more for a vase, then cutting just out of the top is probably the best bet, to where you're cutting out and you have holes here, and then you have attached pieces at the bottom so you don't have holes on the base. Okay, we're gonna put decorative coils so you can see what they've done on these, and we can look at a few other ones. This one was kind of neat with that iron oxide. You can see different things that they've done and kind of come up with. Okay, even this one has like leaves and vines for their decorative coil that'll cover up the seam. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick one type of balance, so radial balance or symmetrical balance, but I want you to push yourself beyond this. This is all I could insert into this PowerPoint, okay? So these shapes are really basic. I want you to make sure you come up with some type of design. You can't just randomly cut stuff out, okay? I'll have you start over. So option one, let's look at this. If you are doing this, you are gonna need to cut out of side one. You can see these outline ones are cutouts, so you would see all the way through. Okay, so you're gonna take these pieces and you're gonna score and slip them to side two. Okay, so cut out and attached. You need to have 5 to 6 cut out or attached on each side. Okay, that is the minimum. So you can see this one has 6 cutouts, this one has 6 attached. Okay, if I go to this other side, you can see that I have the same design cut out. Okay, I have 6 cutouts. On this side, I have 6 attached, so I'm using all these cutouts, but I have rearranged them to create a different design. Okay, it's still symmetrical, but it is a different design. Now, option 3, similar design with these 3 triangles, but you can see this one is cut out from the top, and then they attached it to the bottom. So this one has 5 to 6 cut out or attached on each side. So you can see it has 3 cut out, 3 attached. Okay, so we've done this part. The rest of it we're gonna kind of go over in a second. But let me go ahead and show you this. So I've kind of changed how I go over this because I feel like the designs that I was getting were very elementary. Okay, they were not at the level that I felt like high school was at. Okay, so let me show you, and I think this is why. If I look at my paper here, and this is what you're gonna do in a second, I'm starting with a design. I had somebody in my first block write prototype on this, and I thought that was pretty funny. This is where you're starting. Every artist has to start somewhere. Draw something, okay? And then you're gonna go ahead and say, okay, what do I wanna change on this to make it look better? Okay, how can I make this look more advanced? Okay, so if you look here, I changed this one, and so I made these rounded. Okay, to give it a little more design so it would look like it kind of wraps around that circle. Okay, so then I say again, okay, I'm going to change it again. What can I do? So this one I kind of took part of this circle out, and then I made these curve out and these curve in. Okay, so then the next time I change it, so to myself, I'm thinking, well, I want to make this a little bit wider. So I made these triangles wider, these more narrow, and this is the design that I ended at. okay? So nobody just ends with this design. And that's what I think the misconception about art is that everybody who makes something who's good at it, they just did this one right away, that they didn't have to do these steps, okay? Everybody has to do these steps, okay? It's just these steps you don't see, okay? People don't advertise their failures. So same thing. This is that really simple design that I had here. So what I am doing is I'm changing this and I'm thinking, okay, how can I make this look better than it did? So I go ahead and take out the centers of those, okay, but everything's still flat. I'm going to look at this one. I'm going to make these pointed instead, okay, instead of making them flat, and have these stay the same. Okay, and then I'm going to make these more narrow. I'm going to go ahead and make these pointed, but I think I'm going to put something in the center of that one. Okay, so this is just how you need to go about it, to think about what do I want this to look like, because this is a really cool project. If you give it a shot and if you actually think about what kind of designs can you do. Okay, so again, this one's pretty simple. I don't know how, I'm not real wild about it now, but it's at least a place that I can start. Okay, so I'm thinking about it. What would I rather this look like, or what could I do to change it? Maybe I could, again, change these sections and just change the curve of it. Okay, and this is a rough draft. I'm not trying to make this perfect right now. Okay, and then maybe I want to change that circle because I don't feel like it really fits with my design. So I'm going to make something, okay, like this. And I don't know, this kind of looks funny here. So I'm going to start with maybe a bigger section that has a piece like this, and maybe I want to do something with the points of these. Okay, so then I can have something but you have to get it out there, get it out of your head, and try to see what you can come up with. Okay, because you're just changing it. And look, if I didn't do that with this one, but I think I kind of like that more, where it goes in or around, and it makes more of like a circle kind of shape with it. Okay, so you can see how this starts to look, I don't know, better than it did. Maybe I'm gonna, for this last one, I want to actually like trace a circle. So I have a good kind of shape to follow. Okay, so I can think about, well, I want these to all line up a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, so that would be kind of what, if I'm trying to show you how you do this, this is how every artist, no matter how, like whatever your skill level is, this is how you're going to start. Okay, you got to start somewhere, and then you got to decide, how can I make this better? How can I turn a design that's not very impressive into something that's way cooler? Okay, so you change something, change something, change something. So eventually you should have 16 of these. Okay, I have 4, 8, and 12. Okay, but these designs are much more elevated and much better than these, okay? So eventually what this is gonna turn into is you getting a piece of cardstock from me and drawing this design. This person, what they did 4, 8, 12, 13 on each of theirs. Okay, so I'm saying 5 to 6 cut out or attached. This person went way above what they needed to. But you can see that they have at least 1/4 of an inch in between everything. Okay, does everybody see that? I have some heads down. They have at least 1/4 of an inch. So this one that I had somebody do, okay, you can see this is really skinny. And so most likely these pieces are gonna break out when they cut this out of their pot. Okay, so this is more of what we're looking for. With the distance, you wouldn't have to do that many pieces, but this is what I want you to work on right now. Okay, so let me know if you have questions. You can do this. Everybody can do this. Okay, you just have to be open to giving it a shot.